And I see, oh no, it's away. And I see that I have painted it slowly. That's a very, very Fosse sentence. Jon Fosse's work, the entire work, not only this novel, but plays, poetry, essays, prose, is an eminent example for the intensity that literature can provide. He works with appearing minimalistic methods, reaching paradoxally a great richness, uittömmelig rikdom, unerschöpflichen Reichtum. Wie sagt man unerschöpflich auf Englisch? Ich weiß es nicht. But it is so. I see that I have painted it slowly. In his opening speech yesterday, Karl Ove Knausgård mentioned the power of slowliness in literature. He was speaking about the long-lasting effect that literature has on its readers. But of course, if you talk about slowness, you can talk about the literature itself, not only its effect on readers. And this slowness may be a counterweight to the hastiness of our civilizations. Now, we are happy and proud today to present Jon Fosse's enormous new novel prose project, Septologien, the Septology, or in German and Greek, die Heptalogie. It's the first volume containing parts 1 and 2. In this new novel, Jon Fosse's writing reaches new peaks of deepness and intensity, being still typically Fosse-esque, as everything he wrote, but reaching and giving new qualities too. Well, Jon, when you first told me that you were going to write something you called for slow prose, I must admit I was smiling, because your work until then was not literally known to be hasty and enormously quick. So what's the meaning of this slowliness, this special slowliness of this prose?
I think it has something to do with me writing for the theatre, for almost only for the theatre for some 20 years. And a play needs a certain kind of intensity and a concentration and a fastness in a certain way, even if my plays sound well known to be slow.
Yeah.
So I felt very tired of writing plays, and I decided to stop writing for the theatre, and I decided to go back where I started out in the 80s, writing prose and poems. And then I wrote trilogy, the first, and I wanted to keep on writing prose, but not as intense or as trilogy is, but in a slower way, with longer sentences, with longer sequences, to calm down more. And I didn't intend to write a long novel at all, but it just ended up like that. I prefer not to plan anything before I start writing. I just sit down and start writing and listen to what I've written, and somehow it just happens. My writing just happens. I wanted to write in what I call a slow way, but I didn't plan to write a long novel. That also just happened. By the way, I've written all of this novel in a small town outside Vienna called Heinburg an der Donau, where I partly have been living, and during night time. I start writing at 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning and write until 9. And then I've rewritten passages and so on. in Norway, but it's written during the night on the outskirts of Vienna.
It's very easy to imagine how you did this writing at night and in such an old part of Europe. Yeah, it's really nice to imagine.
Yeah, with a view to a very old, the ruins of a very old castle. And it also, this gave me a good distance to Norway, to my landscape, to my own experiences. I don't think I could have written this novel in Norway.
No.
Not as
Yeah.
it's written by now, I think.
Okay.
This distance, yeah, I don't know how it influenced me, but in a way it did. Yeah.
But still, as I said, it's as Fosse-esque as everything else. It's of course the fjord. It's of course the old houses. And it's, as you might have read in the trilogy and already in the book before trilogy, Antwaker, which I don't know the title of in English, Schlaflos in German, where different chronological states of the characters are kind of floating into each other's. This seemed to be an important part of your writing, and you keep it here.
Yeah, but to write this novel, the more I wrote of it, the more important it felt to me to write just this novel, this Septología novel. So I was very lucky when I had written through it all, and it was too long by then, so I had to cut it down. So by now it's approximately 1,500 pages long, and I normally my normal length is approximately 100 pages or 1 hour in the theater or something.
Yeah. Well, we are not afraid, however. We make a jump back in time. We think about one of the very first publications of Jon Fosse at the beginning of the 80s, which was a short story published in a student's magazine under the title Him. And there the main character says, I am afraid, point is important to mention, because in the Septology you won't find it. I am afraid, point, I am going to write, point. So for this character, this state of angst, of being afraid, seems to be the motive for writing.